everyone, Liane here. I hope you're doing well. You might have seen my olive green ink comparison. I just changed out the nib. It was a fine nib and I have it in a broad this time around. Still have a little bit of residual ink here. Oh no, it's because I have it already inked. I forgot that I had inked it already. But I decided to ink it up with the Diamine Safari ink this month. These 4 pens are currently empty and I'm going to ink them up shortly. But the reason why they're currently empty is because I wanted to show you and also open up for myself the inks that my husband and my daughter got for me. My husband and daughter went to Vancouver two weekends ago to go see Hamilton, the musical. And while they were there, their hotel was just a few mere blocks away from the Vancouver Pen Shop. So let's go ahead and take a look at these inks. So I have Pelikan Golden Beryl, and this is, it's got a pronounced, which explains the title or the name, but it has a ton of gold shimmer in here. It almost looks like a metallic version of Noodler's Southwest Sunset. And then I have Kaweco Ruby Red, Kaweco Summer Purple. And the swatches are up on the label on the top of the cap as well. I was gifted a full bottle of Robert Oster Ink, and this apparently is a Vancouver Pen Shop exclusive. This is my first full bottle of Robert Oster Ink, and the fact that it came from the Vancouver Pen Shop is especially special for me. So I have the Kaweco Sport inked up in Diamine Safari. I'm going to pair the Pelikan Golden Beryl with my Lamy Safari. The Summer Purple, Kaweco Summer Purple, I'm going to swatch it, or I'm going to have it paired with my Iridescent Kaweco Sport. The Ruby Red, I am going to, what am I going to ink it up in? Let's ink it up in my TWSBI Eco. I think that'll be really pretty, just the ruby red ink in my black TWSBI Eco demonstrator pen. And then finally, Vancouver Pen Shop exclusive Robert Oster ink. And I'm going to pair that in this TWSBI clear demonstrator pen. It's a TWSBI Eco, and this is in a fine nib.
Now the first ink is the Pelikan Golden Beryl. And like I had mentioned, in the ink sample vial, it looked like it was related to the Noodler's Southwest Sunset. And as I swatch it, it definitely feels related. Though I would say the Pelikan Golden Beryl is more yellow than it is orange, and Southwest Sunset is definitely a darker color. Now, what I love about this is really what makes it beautiful is the standout metallic shimmer. There is a ton of golden shimmer in here, and as you'll see at the very end, I'll have a close-up of it with the dried ink swatch. You could see just how brilliant the golden shimmer is. And I also just love that I have paired my purple Lamy Safari with yet again another gold ink color, and I'm pretty sure that this is going to be like a perpetual pairing. I'm just going to always pair my purple Lamy Safari with a gold ink, and I previously had it in Southwest Sunset and now I have it in Golden Beryl, and it is delightful. And take a look at that shimmer, it's gorgeous. Ink number 2 is the Kaweco Ruby Red, and it is paired with my TWSBI Eco in an extra fine nib. What I love about this color is that it hinges, it resides right in between the pink and the red. So it's not distinctly red and it's not distinctly magenta or pink either. As it dries, it's just got this, I don't know, it's just got this like elegance to it. Normally when I write with red pens, especially ones that lean more red or are absolutely red, it just reminds me of my school days when I would, just like editing or correcting mistakes on an assignment. But this ink does not give off that impression at all. This pen does give a little bit of feedback, but it offers a feedback in a really pleasing way. In my words, like a conversation between the pen and the paper. And definitely I noticed that there's definitely less feedback though than my Violet Lamy Safari. There's no shading, there's no shimmer in this ink. Too hard to tell if there is shading, as I used an extra fine nib. But if you look at the ink swatch, it's beautiful in the light to dark tones. Next up, we have the Kaweco Summer Purple in the Kaweco Classic Sport in the Iridescent color. And what I love about this pairing is that the Kaweco Sport is just already a smooth writer. It's in a medium nib, and with the ink, it's a pleasant writing experience. What I love about the ink is that it starts off pink and then it dries more to a purple, like an eggplant purple color. And I think that's what makes writing a pleasure with this particular ink, is the process of change from wet to dry. I had this pen previously inked with Sailor Manyo Haha, which is a beautiful multi-shading ink. However, it was a little too light for me. So what I love about this particular ink is that it pairs nicely with their iridescent pen, and it's a little bit of a darker ink, and I just love this. I think the ink and pen pairing is quite nice. Up next is the Robert Oster VanPen 86 ink, paired with my TWSBI Eco in the fine nib. I believe this is the fine nib. Oh, this is the extra fine nib. This is the pen that had the most feedback. However, it's not a bad thing. I don't know if it's because extra fine nibs tend to have the most feedback because of their fine point, or if it's also just the combination of this ink. I don't know if it happens to be a drier ink. However, I don't mind that at all, because I like to use finer nibs for my Hobonichi Techo A6 planner. And so what I like about this ink and pen pairing is that the ink dries quickly. I can write small in my Hobonichi A6 planner. And this color is also interesting in that when you first apply the ink, it's got this greenish brown, muted, muddy khaki color. And then as it dries to what I call like a milk chocolate hot cocoa. Absolutely adore this ink. Last but not least is the Diamine Safari, inked in a Kaweco Classic Sport in the dark olive. I also switched out the nib from a fine to a bold, or to a broad, and boy, do I love this ink and pen pairing. I said that the previous pen had the most feedback. This pen has the smoothest, most buttery writing experience out of the 5 pens this month. The way that this ink shades, particularly in the broad nib, is what makes this ink and pen pairing one of my favorites. I think my handwriting even looks really good. I think it was made for this nib, and I've had really good luck with this pen, this dark olive Kaweco Sport. I think it's going to be a long-lasting top 5 favorite. In the close-up, you could see that there isn't much sheening, there isn't any shimmer at all, but the shading is what makes it a beautiful ink. I wanted to see how my inks in the finer nibs behaved in a broader line, and so I brought out my glass dip pen and swatched out and did a quick sample with my Robert Oster VanPen 86 and the Summer Purple. And you can see the depth of color with a broader, bolder line thickness. And it's always a fun reason to add extra hearts to your page, extra hearts and stars. Well, I hope you enjoyed this currently inked video. I had a lot of fun making it. I'll see you in my next video. Thanks. Bye.